Hello ladies and gentlemen, my name is Catholic, and today I will be playing one of the harder games I've ever played, The Darkest Dungeon. For this, I will be starting out a brand new save file. I'm not too far in my main one, but this one will just be played on stream and for Twitch chat. And YouTube, quite frankly. So I'm just going to start off by creating that, and off we will go. This is a dungeon crawler roguelite. Well, I'll let you guys watch this.
You will arrive along the old road. It winds with a troubling serpent-like suggestion through the corrupted countryside, leading only, I fear, to ever more tenebrous places. There is a sickness in the ancient pitted cobbles of the old road, and on its writhing path you will face viciousness, violence, and perhaps other damnably transcendent terrors. So steel yourself, and remember there can be no bravery without madness. The old road will take you to hell, but in that gaping abyss, we will find our redemption.
So yeah, as you can tell, it's a very uplifting and cheery game full of fairies and flowers. No. People will die, you will cry, and RNG will fuck you over like there's no tomorrow. That's about the sum of it. That being said, this is by far one of my favorite games I have played so far. I bought it last weekend, and I put in over 30 hours already. So, all it is, I can't say all, is just a little dungeon crawler. I'll click here to move to the next room.
Brigands have run up these lanes.
And so you just explore corridors such as this.
Just ahead.
And there's areas between each room. And each one has a chance for something. So you get a battle, sometimes there's items you can investigate, stuff like that. Your party is made up of up to 4 people. It's highly advised you do 4. And all of them have 4 skills with one exception, which I'll get to later. So the neat thing about Darkest Dungeon is some skills can only be used in certain positions in the party, but there's no mana, so there's no mana resource that you have to worry about. Instead, each character can get stress. If they get up to 100 stress, either through events that happen in the dungeon or taking too much damage, they could become paranoid or some type of other virtue if they roll really well. But more likely than not, something's going to go wrong with them. After that, if they get all the way up to 200, they'll have a heart attack, which puts them on death's door, which means if they take any damage, there's a chance of them dying. So I'll just start out with combat. Looks like here we just want to open up the vein. This will, you can see everything this skill provides. So this does a little bit less damage, you can see by the negative 15 mod, but it also creates a bleed on the target. If you look above the name of the skill, you can see the little creamish dots and then the red dots. The yellowish, whitish dots are where you can use the skill wherever the person's in the party. So if this guy was in the back or 4th position, he couldn't use it. The red dots are who he can target. So the first 2 dots, so he can only target the 1st or 2nd person. And that's all there is to it. First one will obviously be pretty easy, but it can still hurt quite a bit. So this guy, he's a Crusader. He's like your big beefy Templar. He's your tank in the front. Got a variety of skills. This one does extra damage to Unholy. This one, you can see the line between the 2 red dots on the targeting. That means it'll hit both, which is why it has a negative damage mod of that significant. This can stun, and this one makes your torch go up. Torch influences a whole bunch of stuff, such as monsters' damage, how much stress you guys get, how lucky you guys are. It influences a lot. But whenever he uses this, it increases the torch. He gets 25% extra protection, which is a way of mitigating damage. He also marks himself, which means enemies are more likely to attack him. For now, we're just going like this. We don't need a whole lot of damage. As you hover over people, you can see their stats, so how resistant they are to stun or bleeding. You see their current hit points, and if you look at your own panel along the bottom left, you can also see what the chances are that you'll hit, crit, damage, etc. So that's all there is to it. Got a little bit of gold, and we'll just move on. We can see there's a curio up ahead. Curios are things you can investigate. So anyone can investigate it. There's actually a class that when they investigate a curio, they have a chance of finding a more valuable item. So, yep, here we go. Check. So that's not too bad. Curios can have a negative effect, so you can get disease from them. They could be trapped, any of a variety of things. Alright, so this one's a little tougher. This guy's big and beefy. So I gotta choose what I want to do. I could try a pistol shot. It's 4 to 8. I'd be able to kill him in 2. Or I could just go after the big guy right away, which I think is what I'm going to do. How much does this do? 2 to 3. Yeah, I'm just going to go after the big guy and start making him bleed. So you can see it's already 2 per round, and he has negative bleed resist. So what that means is any bleed I have, any skills I have that have a chance to bleed later, will have an increased chance to make him bleed. That's why I go after him first. He kind of hurts. So I'm going to see if I can stun him. In the bottom, you can see his stun resist is 50. So hopefully, nope. So we'll just keep trying to make him bleed. So now he's taking 4 every 2 rounds. Shouldn't take long. And so his skill caused both of our guys to bleed. They must have failed their bleed rolls. That's pretty handy. And so he has 4 hit points left, and he's bleeding at 4 rounds. So I actually don't have to worry about him anymore. I can target the guy in the back. Like so. This is what I'm actually going to switch. That way my highwayman can actually use out his range skills. Which I guess doesn't matter since he's now in the first spot. But I didn't think I had to do that too well. Alright, so if his hit points had gone down to 0, he'd be put at Death's Door, which if he's at Death's Door with 1 hit point, any damage he gets dealt has a chance to outright kill him. This is his chance to resist dying from one of those. So he has a 2 and 3 chance of resisting, which is good, but it's not great. This guy is the same thing. But we'll just make this guy bleed out, or miss, that works too. There we go. That'll do it. Alright, so these are called trinkets. Each hero has room for 2 trinkets, and usually they provide a benefit, but they almost always have a negative effect as well. So this one would be helpful for my highwayman if I want to give up the speed, which is just what order he goes in the combat round. I'm going to take it all anyway. They can still be sold for a decent amount of gold, which will be helpful later. I'm actually going to continue adventuring just because I see there's this chest here that I want to investigate first, which was a bad idea. So as you see, that one was trapped, and now he's taking 2 damage per round. Not a big deal since I'm going into town, or as they call it, a hamlet now. So this is the end of the mission screen. You see, if you finished a quest, you can get everything here. Anything you collected is here and automatically sold. You don't have a long-standing inventory except for trinkets. If you collect any heirlooms, which are used to upgrade some of the buildings, which I'll get to, they'll be displayed here. So this is what happened. And if you successfully complete your mission objective, your characters will gain Resolve XP, which is basically experience. This helps them take less amount of damage from stress and also influences their level. Sometimes you'll get different quirks, which are like characteristics that your character can have. They can have both positive and negative, which I will show as soon as we get into town.
Welcome home, such as it is.
So this is the activity log, just shows you what happened, and usually just has a summary.
And you are bound to them.
So that's just how you know. So we'll start here, as we'll probably be looking at a lot and remembering our old friends. So this is just, if anyone died, it'll go here. It'll show them what week they died, what they died to, and at what level. This is basically the lore. You can replay any of the audio from the cutscenes. This is one of, if not the most important buildings. This is the stagecoach. Your party can hold up to 9 right now, or like you should say your roster. It's like a barracks, and this is where you recruit people. You can recruit them for free, and you can right-click on them to see what they have. So they come with a variety of skills, which are random. So this, his skills are Plague Grenade. So if he's in the back 2 positions of our line, he can hit the back 2 positions of their line and cause them a pretty decent amount of damage over time in the form of blight. This is the same thing if he's in the back 2 positions, but this causes a chance to stun the back 2 lines. Multi-person stuns are huge. This is just like a mini heal, but it more importantly could cure some of the damage over times. And then this can stun one of the back 3 people. It shuffles them within the group, but it also clears corpses. Corpses are if you kill someone without a damage over time effect, just kill them outright, they'll leave a corpse which stays there, which can be annoying to deal with, especially if you have a lot of melee people, because they can't get past them. So these are his quirks. You can think of them as characteristics. So this one is if hit points are below 50, he has greatly increased, 3% is pretty significant. And wield, which is one of the areas, he has a chance to scout ahead, which can tell you what's coming up. So you know if there's a fight or a trap or curios or something, you can kind of get ready. Traps are the big one. So virtue is whenever you fall, whenever your stress goes to 100, you have a chance to get virtue, which is a positive reinforcement, which can relieve stress over time or heal you quite a bit. If you don't get a virtue, you get like paranoid, which is a negative debuff where you might not do anything at all. There's a variety of them. I'm still exploring which ones are which. Lazy Eye is minus accuracy for range skilled. Seeing as this guy's pretty much only ranged, that's pretty bad. So Vestals are your clerics pretty much. She has Mace Bash. This helps with Torchlight, but can also stun. Here's her big heal. It kind of falls off later, but in the beginning it's huge. And then this can only be used in the front 3, which is kind of interesting. But it's a ranged attack. The thing about her is this can only be used in the front 2. And Dazzling Light and Divine Grace can only be used in the back 2 positions of the party. So I won't be able to use all 4 at any given point. As it is, we're going to need 4 to round out, so I just drag them over. So you can upgrade any of your buildings, and they use the heirlooms you'll find. So this is how many we can have in our roster over here, and this is experienced recruits, which I haven't gotten to even on my main account yet. So we don't really have anything else we can do here. Most of it's unlocked. So let's embark. This is the mission screen where you can choose out what missions you want to do. So this is the Darkest Dungeon. Level 6, medium size. Haven't gotten there yet. But here, you can see it's short, so you don't get to camp at all. This game has camping, which is kind of interesting. We get to a medium, I'll show that. Apprentice, which shows about what level. If there's too high of a level, if your character is too high of a level, they'll refuse to go on it, because it doesn't provide them any challenge. And this gives you your goal. If you meet that goal, this is what you get. So go ahead and drag down the order we want. I'll put her there since she can... yeah, she's good, pretty much all of them. Plus that allows her to use Illumination. If I put her in the back, she wouldn't be able to use Illumination. And then I'll put him in the back there. So now that we have everything, some preset parties have a special name, and the name doesn't do anything. It's just kind of a quirk the developers put in. So this is where you provision. Yep, thank you. So food is when your party gets hungry, but it also helps heal your party. If you come across an obstacle in the dungeon, a shovel can help remove it automatically, or else your party has to go through and clear it by hand, which causes a lot of stress and can cause them damage. I actually had someone die while clearing out. Bandages are just used to stop bleeding. Unlike other games, using an item during combat doesn't take up your character's turn. And lastly, we need our torches, which handle the torchlight. I like having a pretty high amount of torchlight, but this is a short dungeon, so 6 should be good. Now this all comes from your gold down here, and at the end, everything you have in your inventory will be sold back. So, yep. I'll go through my other guys' quirks real quick. So Warrior of Light is he does extra damage whenever I have full torchlight. When they get back to town, they can spend a week for stress relief, and one of them, the options is to pray. So in this town, he will only do that. He won't do any of the other 5 that are available. Kleptomaniac's kind of an annoying one. Whenever you open and get loot, he has like a 40% chance to steal all of it. My Highwayman, Hard Noggin, harder to stun, and then he's a little bit quicker in battle. His negative quirk is he's not allowed to gamble in town, which is fine. These can be reinforced for a pretty significant price in town, and then the negative ones can be removed. If you let them get too long, they'll become like a permanent part of that character. They can still be removed, but they're even more expensive, like ridiculously so. So this is the dungeon. I need to explore 90% of the rooms, and even though there's not 10 rooms here, I can still leave one and complete the scouting mission. So what I'll probably do is I'll just go like this up and look around, ignoring that corner. I guess I can ignore that one too, but that's just the most efficient route. So you can see something drop down from the ceiling, and she got a little bit of stress. Here is a curio, which we can explore, and get a torch. Very helpful.
To the brave and the foolhardy alike.
You can keep track of everything down here, and here we found each room has a chance for battles with treasure and stuff. I haven't come across a room that just has a treasure without a battle. So here we got not much. Since he can only attack the back 2 with direct damage, he has to rely on stunning, and he can only stun that. But it also shuffles them around. So now we got this. I can leave him for this round and just focus on the one in the back. Speed of 1, so if I can kill him before he goes, I should be able to finish him off. So if I wanted to open the vein, which has a chance to bleed, I'd look here, and they have a 200% resist to bleeding. I'm going to guess opening a vein on a skeleton is not horribly effective. So instead, I'll go with a pistol shot. Yeah. Got a crit. So crit can cause stress relief for your party, which is really helpful. He's already stunned, so I'm just going to go with Illumination. I don't need to heal anyone since we're all full health. And now him, with the bonus versus Unholy, finish it off. Not too tough. We got this, and we can see what this is. So we got Shovel. These are one of the 4 heirlooms. The other ones are crests, busts, and deeds. And let's get a little bit of gold. Gold does take up a spot in your inventory. Ooh, we're scouting. And it only stacks up to 1,500. So this is what I was talking about scouting ahead. We can see what's up here. We can either go for the Battle with Curio or treasure. But if we look in the hallway in front of us, we see an obstacle and 2, but we have a battle afterwards that we're going to have to be ready for. So here's the obstacle I was talking about. The shovel. We'll clear it out, and I still have another one, which is nice. And here's the battle. So if you hover over them, you can see we have 2 unholy, but we also have a human. Which I don't think I have anyone that's really good against human. Normally that human would be able to bleed, but since he can only target the front 2, it's not going to work as well. I'm going to use Grape Shot Blast. It does only 40% of the damage and can't crit, but it can target all 3. Alright, so I can now choose. I can do that. Yeah. Plate Grenade for... Actually, I'm just going to try to pull him to the front. I'm going to stun him. Alright, I didn't... He resisted the stun with a 1 in 4 chance. And he only got pulled 1 forward, but I should still be able to target him with melee skills. However, since he's good against Unholy, or that skill in particular is, I'm going to go ahead and use that one. So this is what I was talking about with my corpses. They'll eventually go away on their own, but usually you want the battle to be over before that. So, minus 50%, I can hover over. Looks like it'll do 3 to 6 to him. Let's hope it finishes him off. Yep, got a nice roll there. Alright. So he got pushed all the way back, which isn't good. But I can do this again, and because this clears corpses, he's automatically moved to the front. If there's no one ahead of you, you get moved to the front. He has a nice move of 2, so I can move him around a little bit faster than I normally would be able to. And yeah, might as well just do this. He's not unholy, but should still do a good damage. So this, I found a lot of gold, and then this, which sells automatically. And there we go. Now, I don't have anything in this room, but I think I want to go with a treasure instead of curio, so I'll skip that one. So now as the torch is going down, you can see I get a lot more stress. Monsters have better accuracy and damage. We can get surprised. We get a little bit more loot and a little bit more player crit. As that goes down, the loot and player crits will go up, but I'll get more stress. Monsters will be more accurate, and we'll more likely be surprised, which means we can get shuffled up pretty easily. I like having a full torch, or almost full, especially because of Warrior of Light. So, this shows us we have a curio coming up. Contains loot. See, this is what I'm saying. He did it automatic. He checked for it automatically because of Kleptomaniac, and he's going to keep it, so I don't see it at all. Doesn't really do anything for him, but it's still a little bit of a pain because that's taken out of how much valuable. So we have a human. That's the only unholy, actually. So we should be able to open him up. Yeah, 2 isn't bad. The illumination. Actually, I could go for Dazzling Light and stun him. Hopefully. Yep. Keeps the torch up. Plague Grenade. Yeah, since he's already stunned, I don't need to use the Blinding Gas, so we'll see if we can get a nice Blight debuff. That is a lot of debuff. Now, that will either do 7 to 14, which could kill him, or 7 to 13, which has a better chance. Yeah, I'm going to go with this. I have like a 50-50 shot to kill him. Just rolled low. Whenever my Highwayman comes up, I can do a grape shot on him. So now he's bleeding. 3 damage isn't a huge deal. So I'm most likely going to let that go out instead of using a bandage. Grape shot blast. So there we go. The damage over time just got him. He's pretty low, so... Ooh. Since I can't target anything except for that corpse in the back, which is useless, I'm going to use the minor heal, but it also cures bleed. I happen to get a crit. Whenever a heal crits someone, whoever you healed also gets a stress damage debuff. I'll just go ahead and try to finish that off. That doesn't quite work, but this should. There we go. So that's pretty valuable. Onyx is also pretty valuable. We'll see what comes in here. Hopefully he doesn't steal it. Nope. Again, and those do stack, which is helpful. So I'm just going to keep going over. No reason to go here. I'd have to backtrack. I'll just keep going like that. It's the most efficient route. Torches increased 25 because I wanted over 75. Ow. So traps can hurt quite a bit if you get hit by one. Is that? If you scout ahead, you can see them coming and disarm them, which hopefully I'll be able to show at some point. All right, move on to the next room. So he's gonna do it again. Jeez, that's a lot of food and buffs. So Kleptomaniac's something you want to get rid of right away, and your first character always comes with it. But that's a lot of gold he's cost us. So you won't find items outside of trinkets. You have to upgrade your weapon and armor at the blacksmith over time. I'm just going to do 1. I don't want to waste... The torches will sell back. So if you use 2, you're costing yourself gold and you might not need it. You can also use them in combat. Yep. Alright, so I will have to use them. What's his speed? Speed of 8. So first, that just gets it up there, and now that's unholy, so I won't be able to bleed out anyone they got. So I'm actually gonna do this. I'm gonna go for him, and then I'll get buffed because of that, and I'll try a Grape Shot Blast. Blinding Gas. I'll see if I can stun the 2 in the back. Perfect. I'll go ahead and heal him. After you recover from a stun or anything, you have a chance, you get better stun resist. That way people can't just lock down stuns on you. So I can either do 6 to 11, which could kill him at all, 7 to 13, which could kill him, and there we go. It still leaves a corpse. So actually I could do this. I have 5 to 9 with a 20% chance to crit. 5 to 9, 4 to 7. Let's see if I can finish him off. Nope. But I can do a Plague Grenade and hopefully blight them. If that happens, yep, he will die. He'll slowly start whittling away. Go ahead and heal him. At this point in the game, 5 is pretty nice. I'm going to try to stun him. Yep, there we go.
Great is the weapon that
Since he died from damage over time, that will clear that out. Nope, he can only... Nope, he can target him. See if I can pull him to the front. Not the front, but clears the corpse and brought him up. And then... Do I want... He has a good stun resist now. Do that, keep the torch up.
in Radiance may we find victory.
So now... 5 to 9, or I can just do 4 to 7 on him, or I could do this. I only need to get 3, and yeah. So now he'll die from Blight. And, because he's unholy, he'll die from that. There we go.
Slow death. Unforeseen.
Ooh,
Unforgiving.
what is that? I'm actually going to stay here because there's a treasure chest. Alright, so this is a trinket. This is class only, so it's only for the Highwayman. So I just got to select him. So he, and it just, in exchange for 2 crit, he takes more stress damage and he has less chance for virtue when he gets stressed. But that's still pretty, that crit is helpful. And trapped. That's not so much of a deal because I'm getting out of here. Alright, so we can see what happened. I got that. That's not bad. 4 dodge is nice. I could have had so much more if he didn't see all that stuff. 5,400 still not a bad haul. So this is where you get the experience, and now people are getting quirks. You can get negative quirks depending on how much stress you end up with, or positive ones. So lower your stresses, the better the chance to add a positive quirk. Higher your stress, the better your chance to add a negative quirk. You can get both. That means he'll have more of a chance to automatically explore some of the curios we come across, depending on their type. Ah, this is a nice one. So it just deals more damage in the wield. Wield? I don't know how to pronounce that.
The degeneracy of the hamlet is nothing, I fear.
So this is what we're saying by severe negative quirks.
Surrounding acres.
So we got Tavern and Abbey. This is so we can relieve stress. All these guys moved up, and that was all that happened. Unfortunately, the Sanitarium's not there yet. So here,
Fresh kegs, cards,
you can drag your heroes in,
promise solace to the weary and broken.
and just for a price, and it will relieve their stress, but you can't use them for that week. It's a decent price, like decently high, but It's the only way to relieve stress, at least in this game. You can upgrade it, so how much? Yeah. The Abbey's pretty much the same thing, it's just for more religious. The innkeeper, or caretaker, is the guy who runs the hamlet, and so he'll take up one slot each week, which can be really bad if you have people that can only use a certain one. Again, this can be upgraded as well. So let's see what we get in our stagecoach. So we got a plague doctor, which is one we already have. He might have different skills. So yeah, if he's in the front, he has a way to melee, which causes a nice little bleed. And then he has these, so if I'm going back in where all the unholy are, definitely want to bring him. Yeah. So, I haven't seen that one before. Maybe he automatically uses a certain skill or weapon during the fight. I'll actually bring him in. And then lepers are hard-hitting frontliners. They have pretty low accuracy overall, but they can hit like a truck. I kind of like them. Eagle Eye for lepers are not helpful. They don't have any range skill. And so this is like the worst combination you get off the bat. He has less crit on melee skills, and that positive quirk isn't anything. Not going to bother getting him. So, this is when we can start looking at upgrading stuff. I am going to upgrade my stagecoach, so I can now get that. I don't need that yet, so I can leave that. Don't necessarily need the increased stress relief that these upgrades would give me. So I'm just going to go back out. See, sorry, this is the trinkets. So if I have anyone I want to give a trinket to, like I think I'll give this to my warrior. And then that of range skills. Ooh. -1 speed. Alright, so I'll do that. I could have also sold them. So now I have a couple more options in the ruins. This is just a short level 1. This is also short. This is a medium, which means I get to camp. Heroes have camping skills that you can use during. And then that one's also medium. That's not bad. This give me 3,000. This give. I'm gonna go with this. I kind of like that a little more. It's gonna be quite a few battles, but I think I can do it. Instead of him, I'm just gonna swap him out for my new guy, because my new guy gives me extra damage versus unholy, and yeah, doesn't clear corpses, but so I'm just gonna go with 8 food, 6 torches. I don't need no one of those. So this is just in case I start bleeding, poisons, clearing obstacles, torches. I'll go with 2 more because I got the Warrior of Light. Normally when I'm streaming I'll play music in the background, but this is just, I like this music such enough. The in-game music, I will stick with it. Undead will not bleed. Makes sense. I'm not scouting, so I might have to backtrack. See, my thing is I might have to backtrack to there if there's a battle. Blah. Not much, but you know, he'll take the one that's super valuable. Scouting. Will it reach down here? Yep, of course there's a battle down there. I went the wrong way. So here I can see I have a curio, trap, and battle coming up. My highwayman has a 50-50 chance to disarm the trap. But first, the curio. He resisted the disease that was trapped with. So I can see the trap here. All I have to do is click on it, and it's disarmed. Whenever he disarms it, he gets stress relief, which is nice. And here we are. Ooh, these guys can hurt. Especially those guys in the back. But we'll see. 5 to 9. So I have like a 50% chance to kill them. Oh, it's gonna kill them because they'll bleed, hopefully.
Another one falls.
I'll take that. 2, what's the debuff? 4, so it won't quite do it. So what I'll do, oh, I was hoping that would do enough damage that I could do the Zealous Accusation. I guess I still can, that works. Didn't know it did that much. What do you know? Alright, so I will use a torch pretty much right away so I can get the Warrior of Light. That's not a good way to start. I'll use this in the back. Oh, I wanted to use the... Oh, this guy doesn't have the stun. Stun would have been nice. So, they'll die next round. They won't, but they'll die in 2 rounds. Wow, she's getting hit. So as long as I hit, I can kill one because he was doing 7 to 14.
Back to the pit.
Hopefully that'll clear the damage over time she had.
Great is the weapon that cuts on its own.
Alright, so I didn't get a chance for her to heal herself. Maybe I'll use up some food. Abomination's another class. Actually, they have all of their skills unlocked at first, but they can change between forms, which is kind of nice.
Packs laden with loot.
More
low on supplies.
heirlooms.
Even the cold stone seems bent on preventing passage.
Uh-oh. Yeah, so you just get stressed from that. Significant amount of it, but still. Alright, so I only have to worry about her. So this guy creates a lot of stress damage. It's pretty annoying. Pistol shot, 4 to 8. This guy does stress damage too, which is, again, annoying. Play grenade. Now if he gets... Yep, so he'll die, which is helpful. Alright, so she's at death's door.
From becoming unwound.
But I'll just have her heal herself. 3 is not much, but it'll keep her away from death's door. Three to 7, 3 to 7. 7 to 13. Exactly what I needed.
Cleansed from our lands.
Oh no.
A death by inches.
So I gotta use that on him. Cool. 4. So he will eventually bleed out, but just to help him. Try to help him along. She's gonna keep healing herself. Nine's a nice little chunk. And just because I think he'll be able to help him out there. Alright, and
Continue the onslaught.
there we go.
Destroy them all.
And he'll just bleed out from that.
This is how a life.
Extra food's always nice. I'll give her some just to give her a little hit point boost. Alright, I gotta backtrack, and I see there's a battle back along my way. All unholy. They kind of hurt after a while, which is fine, but I have healing. Yeah, I'll just have her heal herself again. And then I'll do the plague grenade for... He'll die in 2 more. He won't die from it. Two dodges in a row. Lucky me. Wonder how much I'm gonna have to pay for that later.
Their formation is broken. Maintain the offensive.
That can really stack up to ridiculous amounts. Now they should both die to the blight.
The slow death. Unforeseen. Unforgiving.
You don't want to pass because it'll cause them stress.
Confidence surges as the enemy
There we go.
crumbles.
And an extra torch isn't bad. Oh, Death's Door also provides a pretty significant debuff. I'm still good on Torchlight. Right, I forgot. There's a trap ahead. That's what I get for not paying attention. I got a Curio and then a fight, and then another fight.
A handsome reward
Disease.
for a task well performed.
I'm just gonna give that to him. It frees up a spot in my inventory. I can sell it later. Kind of want to get rid of him. It's a low chance, so I'm just gonna pretty much guaranteed to kill one of them.
Give them no quarter.
That is such a great debuff. Those little maggots hurt.
As the fiend falls, a faint hope blossoms.
There we go. Nice and easy. Air to Venom. That works. I have a battle coming up, so I'm just going to give her a little more food to heal. Ooh, and I got a Curio. So, let's just toss that into the back. Tempting Goblet with enough stress. Let's do this. Ooh, he got moved back and stunned. Not fun. He's already gonna die. I just need 1 damage. He'll die now to that too.
Dazed, reeling.
Ouch. Crits cause stress to your party. Just, I don't know if I'd mentioned that one before. Hopefully they focus him. He's gone. Go with a Noxious Blast on him. That works. Yeah, the monsters in this hurt. It's not like little tiny hits.
Set the stage for heroism or cowardice.
Stun him. Wonderful. I'll still switch. Just do it that way. That 4 turns helpful. See if she can heal herself. There we go. 3's not bad. Damage over time will take that.
A trifling victory.
I'm gonna keep going, mostly because I want to check this. Glad I stayed. Might be pushing my luck a little bit, but...
Wealth beyond measure.
This...
Awarded to the brave and the foolhardy alike.
that is actually, if you put a torch in it, you can summon for something that's not horribly fun to deal with. I wiped all one member on it before. Now I'm just being greedy and trying to get what I can. Armor tinker. That's nice. That's all there is to it. So there ends this one. I'll see what my total haul is.
Oh my haul. We reclaim what is ours.
Bleh, not too much. The 3,000 gold helped. They came out of that with quite a bit of stress. Thick-blooded, alright, not a bad one. That's nice. Oh, excuse me.
In time, you will know the tragic extent of my failings.
Cool, we got the blacksmith and the guild. Still need the sanitarium, but that's alright. So, the guild is combat skills, if I remember.
We will face ever greater threats.
Which I can't
Our
unlock
soldiers
yet.
must be ready.
I have to Instructor Mastery 1. Now I can do it.
Regimen is paramount if one is to master the brutal arithmetic of combat.
And you can do new skills. Trying to figure out if I want one. I don't think so. I'll just only live. Disorienting blast is nice. This guy, I don't really want to upgrade Incision. I want the double stun in the back. So, I'll have to go to him. Alright. Wonder what happens. Interesting. You can see how things change based off of what you choose. That's a neat little feature. And now, the blacksmith.
The bellows blast once again. The forge
I
stands ready to make weapons of war.
I can upgrade him, but I'm still missing 3 deeds. But I might as well upgrade my weapons where I can. I have enough gold that should last me a while. Now let's see what's at the stagecoach. An abomination's fun.
Tortured and reclusive. This man
See
is
if I
more
can-
dangerous than he seems.
That's a pretty nice plague doctor. I already have 2 though. So let's go through here. That became permanent. That's annoying. He will only pray. Since he has pretty high stress, I'm going to put him there. He has pretty high stress. Put him there. And I'm going to put her there for the main reason being she actually won't work with the abomination. She just will refuse to do it. So I will actually need another plague doctor.
What better laboratory than the blood-soaked battlefield?
And we're actually going to do this combination, which should be a little interesting. Let's see. Weald Explorer. Nothing. Weald Scrounger. Yeah, we'll have a good chance of scouting in the Weald. Yeah. I should check this first. Plus 10 damage. Let's put that there. Abomination. I don't really think I have anything that stuns. So we'll go ahead and sell that for the extra gold. So, again, it's a short trip. And we probably need 6. Let's Let's go with 8 torches. 1, 1. There we go. That should do it. Oh, this is a nice, easy map. Oh, easy line.
Let us burn out this evil.
Heirlooms are always nice. Do I see a trap ahead? No. Thought that's what it said.
Finding the stuff
500 extra food and gold.
Now it must be carried home.
Really want deeds. Alright, you guys get to see the Abomination shortly. One of my favorites. We'll go ahead and stun the back too. Go ahead and do this. Now the thing about the Abomination is he can either stay in his human form or go into basically beast form. Whenever he changes into beast form, the entire party gets stressed out. They'll de-stress a little bit when he changes back, but it's not nearly as much as they were to begin with. I'll just toss a blade grenade. 4, not gonna do it. So he'll transform. He gets access to a whole new set of abilities. See, that's pretty significant stress, but the amount of damage he can do is pretty nice. Especially because it's multi-target. He has a couple non-multi-targets, but blade grenade. So he's done. And this. Yeah, that's just.
No quarter. Great is the weapon that cuts on its own.
We'll just pull him back up front. Ah, I actually managed to stun him even with the stun resist. Doesn't matter, he should bleed out. Yep. So he'll transform back, they'll get a little bit, but not much. Now we get scouting. Obstacle curio. Alright. Glad I brought a shovel.
Nature herself, a victim to the spreading corruption, malformed with misintent.
Valuables, 120. Alright. Nothing here. Let's move on. But we got a battle pretty much right away. Highwaymen. Alright. Blinding gas. Stun the back too. Well, I know what the curio is now. It's an extra torch. Yeah. Still a nice amount of damage. And each time you use it, it goes up. So next time it'll do, ooh, 8 more. Or next time it'll do 15% more. I'll just keep chucking plague grenades at him.
Confidence surges as the enemy crumbles.
That's annoying. They can just... See, I don't need to do both now. I can just focus on one. Although, if I do this, I can clear out that back corpse. Yeah.
Is broken. Maintain the offensive.
I'll just move back. Man, they're getting good hits with that in.
As the fiend falls, a faint hope.
Yeah, and there he goes. He also self-heals a little bit at the end of each combat, which is pretty nice.
An insidious killer.
Just a torch. Sometimes there's more than that. Fine, quit your bitching. I'll even do that and give you some food. There, now it's bright enough out and you're not hungry and probably have your pampers on way too tight. Alright, So these guys have a new thing called protection, which means they take 33% less from damage, except for damage over times, which is why I like using them. Double stun. So that's why I try to get them bleeding as fast as I can. There we go. That's expected to do 5 to 9, 4 to 7, but knocks them back. I'll just do this and
Well struck.
rather be the crit on him, but that's alright. I'll play grenade the back. No, why? Oh, they have a high to blight. That's gonna be annoying. I can still get some in, but how close is he to death? A little too close. Not sure what I can do about it though right now. Just keep playing grenading back, hopefully get something. I got 4 on him. He'll bleed out.
Continue the onslaught.
That works.
Destroy them all.
More plague grenades. One in doubt, plague grenaded out. Which there resists. Oofa, that's not good. I'm actually gonna heal him, which will cure the blight. I don't need to do that, but she's only taken 4. Now they'll both bleed out. Yeah, I'll just... Oh yeah, corpses for some reason can still bleed and take damage like that. It's kind of weird.
The slow death. Unforeseen.
Alright.
Unforgiving.
So I can go to those 2 curios and go from there. The energy, lovely. So he now has a diseased red plague. Wow, some of the diseases actually aren't bad. They'll give you like extra damage. That one just sucks. Unerring. That's a nice one. Now, quirks aren't permanent. They will go away after a while. Or actually, they'll get changed out by an old one. +5 accuracy, but minus dodge. That might be good for a leper, maybe. They have pretty low accuracies. So, oh, my first guy at level 2, which is the highwayman I've been using since the beginning. Alright, so I won't take him in there. Alright. Clumsy, -5 dodge.
My obsession caused this great foulness, and it is shameful that I must rely upon.
So here we can see how much they all went down. So Marillac has like no stress now. Reynald has like nothing. Willoughby didn't go down all the way. Some. We can now do the sanitarium. We'll go there real quick. So sanitarium is you can treat quirks and like remove the bad ones and reinforce the positive ones. Think of it like operant conditioning. Think QBF Skinner. And then Mech Ward is in case they are sick with the disease that he got. You can take them in there and they can remove it. Sometimes they remove more than one. I want to put him in there. Get rid of Kleptomaniac. That way he stops stealing my shit. Alright, I think with that, I am going to call it a night on Darkest Dungeon. Thanks for stopping by, guys. Hope to see you soon.